Now let's talk about colors. So when it comes to colors, we have two primary models. We have CMYK and then we have RGB. So what is RGB? What is CMYK? RGB simply stands for red, green, and blue, whilst the CMYK represents cyan, magenta, yellow, and key. So the key means black in the color theory. So when do you use RGB and when do you use CMYK? It's pretty simple. CMYK is used primarily for print materials. So let's say you are printing brochures, books, and all that. That is when you use CMYK. So RGB, on the other hand, is used mainly for digital displays like computer screens, TVs, our smartphones, and all other gadgets which have screens. Now let's understand this. Each RGB color channel has about 256 possible values or levels, which ranges from 0 to 255. And if you multiply this by the 3 color channels, you should be getting about 16.7 million colors. Therefore, RGB tends to have a much wider range of colors than CMYK. Now, for a better understanding of the two color modes with regards to saturation, let me first explain what saturation is. In color theory, saturation can be described as the intensity or the brightness of a color. This is to say that if you increase the saturation of an image or a text, the color appears vibrant or pure. And if you decrease the saturation, the color appears to be more washed out or pale. In comparison, RGB colors are highly saturated than CMYK colors. So when you are starting a new project in Photoshop, you are given the option to select a color mode. Among all these options, there is bitmap, grayscale, RGB, CMYK, and lab color. Supposing we are working in RGB, the white artboard, even though it appears to be a bright white color, it has 3 colors combining equally to give us this bright white color. Now let's try taking off the red. You can see that we are getting a cyan color, which is a combination of green and blue. That is to tell you that there is no red present. That is why we are getting cyan. Now let's try taking off the blue. You see, in this case, we are getting a green color because that is the only color present. This same principle applies to images. Every image has all the 3 RGB colors. So if you toggle any of them off, you are going to get a combination of the remaining 2. So with this, you can see that green is turned off. That is why we are getting this magenta color, which is a combination of red and then blue. For every color you select in the color picker, it is represented by a value of R, J, and B. It is also represented by a hexadecimal code, which is shortened as hex code, and is normally used in web designing. So with all this being said, you should know the color mode to select in your next project. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on post notification, as I'll be sharing insightful tech tips, tricks, and tutorials in regards to latest improvements. This is Kaz from Grimo Creatives. Till we meet in our next video, keep on being creative.